Hello everyone, and welcome back to a new episode of Why Did I Lose? The Prismata series, where I analyze viewer games and tell you why I think you lost. Or in some of the more recent ones, where I say, gosh, I have no idea where you lost. You know, had a lot of analyses of games by very strong players recently. All of the games so far have been from Reddit, not because I'm prioritizing Reddit over my YouTube viewers, but because I published a call for submissions a couple days before I published the video so that I could be sure I would have some games to go over. So if you commented on the YouTube video, I'm not ignoring you. We'll get to you, but I'm doing them in order. I have, I think, one more game from Reddit, and then I have more than one game in queue from Reddit, but the next one, time-wise, what's the word for temporally, but the chronologically next video after this will be from the first person to comment on YouTube. Okay, anyway, all of that aside, we will get started, I guess, with a game from... Wait, this is the game from Fourier Dota, is that correct? Let me just double check that I loaded the right one here. Alright, Master Right, you got me, good game. Right, the one that I load from replay, this corresponds to, it was sent by a Reddit user, Fourier Dota, who is a Prismata player, and didn't tell me their Prismata username. I had to go look at the game with like my hand half over my eyes so I would see who won, and therefore know who the game came from without without getting ideas about how the game was played. So we were player one apparently, and this was submitted by Prismata player Sano. What's the deal here? As always, if you'd like, feel free to pause the video and see how you would play this set. Welcome back, as always. My first impressions of this set are that it is quite fast. There's really not any defense. Well, that's not true. Barrier and Nitrocide are both defensive, but they're very small soak. And there's no absorb and there's no big soak. We here typically do not count Redeemer as absorb. Despite the fact that it can absorb for more than a wall, you should almost never do so. So there's no particular defense. What is there for attack? Well, not a lot of that either, to be honest. I think Flame Animus is sort of the best attacker in this set, if you had to pick one. Simply because it's just overall efficient, and with Nitrocide, the extra red will rarely go to waste. You'll find a way to use it. Immolite also, of course, a cheap red option, although not as cheap. So the main thing, I guess, that stands out in this set is really that, tech sinks. This set has a lot of them, right? Pixie, Oride, Barrier... Every tech you have, you can spend cheaply. You even have an energy sink, right? You know, not exactly what you usually mean when you talk about tech sinks, but it is one, sort of. You can make sure your engineers are getting full value at all times, which is nice. So it seems pretty fast. I know it's crazy, but this opening actually tempts me just the tiniest bit. Or, well, I don't know it's crazy, but it seems crazy. I don't think the game is this fast, but if you don't do this, isn't player 2 gonna open 1-1B and, you're gonna be a little bit concerned? Getting that Flame Animus out right away is really quite valuable, and Galvani Drone makes it plausible to get it out earlier than you otherwise might. Yeah, I don't know. A super fast opening from player 2 seems actually pretty good. I don't know. Maybe you somehow punish that with Redeemers? I don't think so. You just punish it by having more econ? I don't know. They're gonna have the Galvanis, right? Honestly, I think I would rather be player 2 here, and I would be very happy to open 1-1B as player 2. Into, Flame Animus, NG, and then you just kind of, have a better than usual turn 2 Flame Animus, right? Because you got it on turn 1. and your economy is in a similar spot. It just seems so, like, ineffective for player 1. But I really worry that if you let player... Okay, so, like, let's not play this game against Masterbot right now. I want to go into analyze mode just to figure out, like, how these lines would play out in just the early turns. So let's say both... Let's just not even play player 1's turns, right? What's player 2's opening look like if you went this way, right? Oh, you know what I should do is what I wanted to do is compare how the two, like how this weirdo opening I'm proposing compares to a normal player 2 Flame Animus, which would be something like this, and you would throw in a Galvani because you can, right? This seems so cool, right? You get like. You get the Flame Animus before, like, attacking before you're, like, a whole turn earlier. I guess we should finish this turn out, huh? But, like, okay, here we are at the end of player 2's turn 4 for both players, right? Or player 2's turn 3? Yeah, turn 3. This line has about 11 income, but some of it is frontline, so it'll be punished maybe by Flame Animus. This line has also, like, well, it has 12 income. Yeah, this is... It also has $2, I guess. 12 income, $2, but it's also, like, down an engineer, kind of? Well, not exactly, because that engineer is being counted when we say how much income we have, but... This seems way better than the standard Flame Animus line, even with Galvani, in such a fast set. And I think it would do pretty well. So, you know, compare these two, and, like, I don't know. Player 2 just... having done this seems quite good. So, how does player 1 cope with that? Like... You know, player 1, of course, has a different line, but you can't even go D1B, right? You have to go like D11. I guess this is sort of what the corresponding player 1 opening looks like. Something like this. For like another Flame Animus and 2 drones or something. Maybe drone Galvani. Sure, you get another Flame Animus, seems good. More drones. Conduit? Seems a little early for barriers, but maybe you, like, try to punish this by going in with some Redeemers or something? Galvani right now is not good. Engineer is probably okay, but maybe not really worth doing. It'll be kind of nice to... It would be nice to threaten a Mega Drone at some stage. Unlikely as it seems, given how good energy is right now. Like, do you really want to spend 3 of it on a Mega Drone? Probably not, right? I mean, I don't know. If you have enough Galvanis, it's kind of like $8 for 4 drones, which is fine. It's good, even, but... It's $8 and 4 damage, right? And that's, like, not all that great. Huh. I never noticed that. If you, like... Oh, no, that's so wrong. If you imagine that 4 damage is worth, like, $8, because, like, roughly, you know, damage is worth $2 on roughly, very, you know, usual caveats apply, but... I briefly was thinking that, like, Mega Drone costs 5 gold and 3 energy, which is gold if you have Galvanis. and 4 damage, and that's 12, and you get like 4 drones, and that's like how much 4 drones cost. Like, whoa, mind blown, right? But no, 4 damage is 8 gold, so you're paying like 16 for this, which is a pretty bad deal. Which is why like you shouldn't buy Mega Drone if the absorb, if the attack is actually killing stuff. But if even like 1 or 2 of the attack is wasted, it's usually pretty fine. Anyway, I thought I had discovered some like Illuminati connection between Mega Drone and Galvani Drone, but I just had forgotten how to multiply by 2 is what had actually happened. Anyway, I don't think the conduit... Oh, that's an enemy unit. Did I really buy this? Why? I was thinking about it. It doesn't seem good, though. I was like, oh yeah, barriers. Oh no, I was gonna try Redeemer. Oof. I don't know about that. Oh, that's like all my money. Yikes. Okay, but I kind of feel like in order to defeat this stuff, we have to do something aggressive. So that was why I got the Redeemer, basically. This wall kind of seems a little dubious. I need, like... We kind of need to buy 2 Engies this turn, so that the Redeemer can't threaten to turn off Galvani's by killing Engineers. Ugh. Yeah, I don't know. Player 1 doesn't seem in very good shape in this line. Even if you do something sneaky like try to grab a Mega Drone, which is impossible because you don't have the Engies. Yeah. You don't even want a barrier exactly, right? Oh my gosh, these Gauss charges are gonna murder me. This looks pretty game over, right? As player 1, what are we supposed to do? Whose turn is it even? Player 2. Okay. I guess this thing tells me, but I never look up there. We should get some real attackers, right? No, we need to defend. What am I doing? I don't know. Opponent probably can't even click this stupid Redeemer, right? Yeah. Good luck with that. Okay, yeah, so this looks pretty bad for player 1. Which is sort of why I had the idea that, like, you kind of have to undercut this 1-1B. Right? You can do this to say, like, you don't get first attacker, I get it. And it still feels, like, highly bad. It feels very dangerous and scary. But I feel like it's going to lead to a more close game than just letting the opponent get away with it, so to speak. So anyway, I don't know. I guess let's go actually play this one against Masterbot now. Now that I sort of like solidified my belief that this is a reasonable opening. Whether or not it's good remains to be seen. But I just feel like if we don't do this, we're gonna get left behind. Masterbot, I guess, is going for Redeemers. I mean, presumably he hasn't planned that far ahead, but I think if you're going to win after this opening, it has to be with Redeemers. So we should be prepared for that. Well, this feels a little bit silly, doesn't it? Getting up to 2 attack and then stopping right as opponent gets a forge? Like, why exactly would I do that? Mostly because I just don't have enough money to do anything else, and that's why I was thinking, like, hey, let's get some drones. But this set was all about, I thought, having tech sinks, and so... Actually, what if I got an Orite core? That's pretty cool. Now opponent is in the tough spot of like, you know, do you build a wall against 2 damage? If you do, your opponent cuts it down to 1 damage, and it's kind of like a mediocre wall. And if you don't, your opponent gets to apply their 2 damage to you, right? So, I think this puts the opponent in kind of a tough spot. Masterbot, of course, will build a wall. He always does. But a human would be in a tough... would have an interesting decision to make. I don't know. More Galvanis? You might like force field here would be an interesting compromise. I don't know. So, I think opponent should kill an engineer here, not a Galvani. Sorry, squeaky chair. I don't know. One of these days I'll get it oiled or something. We could build a wall, but opponent would just kill a Galvani, and that's not that exciting. So. Just go with this. Could get another Oride core. Since we'll have 3 attack next turn, which we could turn into 2. This time we could turn it into 1. Doesn't seem amazing. Get a conduit? No, I need an engineer. Let's just... They're pretty similar, aren't they? Nah. Well, an Oride core lets me turn 1 damage, which I would be doing here, into $4. So it's kind of giving me $2, roughly. Again, using the rough estimate of like a damage is worth $2. A Pixie would give me a damage, eventually. And so they're sort of like pretty equivalent, and the question is just like, would I rather have more pressure or more drones? I don't really know the answer to that. I guess I should look at my opponent's next turn to see what's up. Like, does opponent care that much about the difference between 4 damage and 3? Not really. So let's just get this, and like, opponent's kind of getting a Redeemer next turn. So we're gonna need a wall, I guess. They might exploit the wall by attacking a bunch of Galvanis, which is kind of a bummer. Oh, opponent didn't get the Redeemer. Well, that's sort of a foolish play. Alright, well, apparently our Galvanis are... Like, a wall's not good. The opponent just kills Galvanis, so let's not do that. They can kill 3 Engies. That leaves all the Galvanis still on. So, great. No more Oride cores. We're going to start attacking. No, I really don't want to be so exploitable. I'd like to be able to start actually absorbing soon. Which requires me to have, like, not a bunch of Galvanis. Yeah, Redeemer is, like, the one looming threat in this whole plan. Like, if I lose, it has to be to redeem. Oh my god, what dreadful barriers, right? I don't know, it's fine. I get an exploit for 1. No, I guess it's bad. I get an exploit for 1, and opponent doesn't really get anything in exchange for giving me that exploit, so I'm unimpressed. Did I miss a chance to Mega Drone there? I did. I could have clicked 1 Oride core and bought Mega Drone. Whoops, that was probably better. Well, joke's on me, I get to still do it. And it's not really any worse this turn than last turn, but I would have preferred to have it earlier. And I could have maybe bought another Oride core to set it up or something. No, I needed the wall. Do I need this Engie? Eh. This could instead be an Immolite then. Okay, so this makes opponent keep 3 health alive, which means they're losing granularity, which is nice. I could turn pixies into money if I wanted. I think I talked about this in a recent video, right? How, like, if you have Pixie, Auride Core is kind of like a bad Auric Impulse. It's like an Auric Impulse that costs 1 and a blue and gives you back 2. Not that impressive, but it does threaten some, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I think 1 damage is probably worth... I don't know. I'm feeling pretty bad about my spot here, actually. Opponent has caught up on damage. I need to get some more. On the other hand, opponent's about to be non-granular, and we're great at exploiting granularity, so... Alright, so what's the deal? How much damage... This is the amount of damage that I have to do. Anything else doesn't exploit. I'd kind of like a Rhino to gambit against this Rhino click instead of a wall to, like, reward it. I guess I could... Barrier? No, that's the opposite of granularity. Okay. Opponent attacks for 4, I lose Nitro NG. I guess I could have barriered, actually. It would have been fine. The Nitro was giving me granularity. The barrier could be giving me, like, total soak. Then I'd get to keep this Nitro. Which would have been kind of nice. It's not... I don't love clicking a Nitro, but if I can get it to kill a Rhino, like, sure seems good, I guess. I don't really... Actually, I kind of do want a barrier. Let's see. What's the deal here? Opponent is probably losing Rhino, which means they can attack for 5. That's 2 walls. However, they could exploit and attack for just 4 by clicking Galvani. Or by holding Immo or Splitter or something. A lot of ways they could just attack for 4. Against that, I could build a barrier, and then I can sort of handle 4 just fine. They could attack for 3, and then I would have barrier onto wall, and that would be fine. I think the barrier is actually getting okay value here. I don't think they have any great exploits. I think their best play is to, like, click Galvani, and then attack for 4. Which makes me lose barrier NG onto wall, and then I'm not granular anymore. That's why I think that's their best line. In fact, I don't want... I need this NG back for my granularity coming up, so I can't afford to get another Immolite. Okay, so he did what I thought he should do, which is unusual for MasterBot. This is the no. This is the exploit. Get a barrier, since opponent kind of has to attack for 3 or 4. Oh, this is also an exploit? I don't know, do I want the money? We'll see. So answer, no, I don't really want the money. So let's save the Rhino click instead. Oh, I do want the money because I should have bought an engineer because I'm about to be ungranular. Whoops. but he gives up. Okay. So, as always, this is not like proof the line was good. Right? Masterbot loses to a lot of bad stuff, but it wasn't as bad as it kind of first sounds when you say, well, what if you just get a turn 1 Blast Forge, right? I don't know. So we'll see if the game goes that direction at all, or if the players try something else. Okay. So he does. Good. I like that. Yeah. Ooh. Is it correct to float a gold to have the energy to buy an ordinary drone? Really? You're giving up $1. And what you get for it is that less of your economy is frontline? That doesn't seem like a very good investment to me. Huh. And then we're building another Engie? What? The way that I see Galvani is as a way to make your excess energy useful. Don't float energy, turn it into gold, right? Both players in the first 2 turns have made a Galvani play that I don't understand. And neither of them are bad players. Lyra's like probably a better player than me. I don't really know how good Sano is. I don't remember if I played against him. Am I missing something? I mean, I know we're 26 minutes into the episode, and I'm just now starting to even discover how Sano played, so I'm maybe a little late on how did I lose, but... what is going on? What in the world would possess you to buy an engineer here? Lyra's play I understand, although I disagree with it. This play, I don't get it at all. I don't see where this is going. Okay, so I guess both players are more worried than I really was about Oride Core exploits. Their perspective is that Galvanis are much more of a liability, and that's fair. Masterbot doesn't do a good job of exploiting them, right? A human player, could have done a much better job against my defenses in that last game by using my Galvanis as resources to deny me absorb. Right, Masterbot just sort of clicks them because he loves clicking stuff. So maybe the frontline-ness of the Galvanis is a really, really big downside, and therefore it's worth wasting money to get ordinary drones instead. I'm not convinced, but I can see where they're coming from, and maybe they're right. If I thought about it some more, maybe I would agree with them. But, like, would it really be such a big deal to have some frontline drones? Like, yeah. It makes opponent... I don't know. You just, like, accept that you're not going to absorb for a while, and opponent doesn't have to get an Oride Core to punish that. I don't know. The other thing is, like, I just don't like this Oride Core either. So, like, I now understand the Sano got this Engie so he could buy 2 drones next turn. I say he, pardon me, I don't know gender here. Sano got the Engie to buy 2 drones here. But it means that in order to spend your blue, you had to get an Oride Core, which, like, you don't want at all. I would much rather actually get a Pixie here if you were going to do this double drone thing, because the Oride Core doesn't really threaten anything. Your opponent's not going to be absorbing next turn anyway. The Oride Core doesn't give you, like, the ability to deny them absorb. Like, if you bought a Pixie, were they going to get a wall and just, like, let you snipe the Galvani? You know, no. And even if they did, you'd be like, oh, okay, I'll just kill the Galvani. You don't need an Oride core right now. I'd much rather have a Pixie, is my opinion. The Pixie actually does threaten, like, to kill these NGs, so they have to, like, at least buy one more Engineer to keep their Galvani firing. Right, you sort of have a bifurcated threat of, I can kill 2 NGs, or I can kill 1 Galvani, and you have to be, like... You can't just build a wall, because then killing Galvanis is good, so given that I can kill 2 NGs, you have to, like, invest some of your money into just getting NGs. Whereas the Oride core just, I don't know, what does it do? That's my opinion. It doesn't do anything. By the way, it's a Galvani game. We're floating 2 energy. This is a strong signal that we made a mistake, right? Turn 4 in a Galvani game, already floating 2 energy. Something has gone wrong. I would much rather get like an Immolite here, or even a like Nitrocybe, and get some Galvanis to spend this energy. 1 Galvani? I don't know. We have what, $4? 1-1-E? I don't know. I guess all the players are really worried about exploits, and so maybe it's worth floating this energy to make the exploit potential smaller, but I think that that is sort of... just being a little bit too worried, right? How are the players doing, by the way? We have 8 drones and a Galvani. Opponent has 8 drones and 2 Galvanis. We're also half a turn behind in attackers. No. Well... We're kind of behind and ahead on attackers, right? Like, we got the first attack for 1, but opponent's getting the first attack for 2 because our stuff is really slow. Rhino? That's a surprise. What's that all about? You really want to be able to attack for 3 or 4 next turn, I guess? Not totally sure why, but okay. I mean, this turn, I don't know, seems fine to me. I don't have any strong opinions about it. Get an NG to keep the Galvani alive, get a drone to use the energy, buy a Nitro. Sure. Ah, that's why you want to attack for 4. I see. I always forget Mega Drone. But it does feel kind of bad to be buying it when only like 1.5 of the attack was... Well, almost none of the attack was wasted, right? Like 1 attack was wasted? You could have saved the Pixie. You could have saved the Rhino. You could have clicked a Galvani. Only this Flame Animus was doing unpreventable damage. So the Mega Drone, like... Furthermore, it cost $7 because the energy was giving you money. So it's like $7 and way more damage than you'd like to pay. So I agree with not getting it. But it makes the Rhino look kind of dumb, doesn't it? Like, it makes opponent use their Oride core instead of clicking Galvani, but that's, like, not that amazing. I don't know. I might have preferred to not get the Rhino. Float 2. What? You owe yourself at least a Galvani drone, right? No. Opponent can attack for 5, I guess. They can turn off... They can kill all your engineers. But they don't really want to, right? They wanted to do this. So, at least 1 Galvani drone... Like... I don't know. basically, opponent has a choice of buying Megadrone or killing NGs, right? And if you don't have any Galvanis, then killing the NGs is like an awful, like not very good play, right? If you have two Galvanis, then killing the NGs starts to look kind of attractive, and maybe opponent won't Megadrone. If you have just one, it's like, ugh, it's not really worth their trouble to kill these NGs, right? They'll probably get the Megadrone anyway, and then you've gotten like a Galvani drone for free, basically. You paid $1 and you're getting to harvest it. So I think we missed a chance here for a free Galvani drone. I'm not sure what we floated the $1 for. The $2, I should say. Yeah. Huh. I see. So the idea was to get a Megadrone. Harvesting the Galvani this turn would not be free. Alright, you have to give up the Megadrone. Is it really such a great Megadrone, though? It's very expensive to get it, right? Like... First of all, it cost you $1 you could have had if you'd bought the Galvani last turn. Still fine in that context. But also, like, you couldn't spend your blue, and you're giving up a Rhino on defense, probably. I don't know. You could try just going for more attack. There's also, by the way, like a simple improvement to make here, which is... Well, I don't know. Is it an improvement? Right, floating the blue is a big bummer. And what you could do is click Nitro, click Oride, buy something. Buy Pixie. I don't know. Buy Oride, maybe. Then you have 2 Orides, and opponent has a Galvani, and you can maybe set up an exploit next turn. It's a possibility. But like, you turn the Nitro into $2 that way, right? And $2 and a blue. Because while you have a blue right now, you can't spend it, and it's about to vanish. And so you can spend that damage on buying a Pixie, which is like a damage, but you get $1 back, right? That seems good. The downside is it's slightly easier for opponent to like kill your Rhino that you're gambiting here, but I wouldn't be at all surprised if they did that anyway. So I don't know. I feel like we needed to just not get this Megadrone and just go more in for attack. Whoa. What? Yeah, I was gonna say. Nitrocybe here is interesting. Sorry. The Nitrocybes are fine. The Immolite's kind of interesting. Why not a Tarsier? Like... The game doesn't look like it's going to be over very soon. And... Opponent, like, it doesn't exactly put a ton of extra pressure on opponent, does it? 4... We're losing 2 of these, so 5, 6. I think opponent's going to be just fine defending this this Immolite for several turns, and I would rather just have a long-term attacker, I think. It's going to be quite a while before the Tarsier pays off, but I don't think the game's over soon. And looking down here, I see that it, in fact, was not over for quite a while. 5 or 6 more turns, right? And also, like, 4... 5. Yeah, I guess we still... If we cut this Immolite, we could actually attack for 5, cut this down to 3, cut it down to 2. I don't know. I guess we're still giving opponent full absorb, so never mind. But it's looking pretty bad for us right now, isn't it? Opponent just kind of seems to have more attack. I don't know. Not really. Why does it feel bad to me? The economy numbers are the same. The permanent attack numbers are pretty close. We have a bit more red, which is nice. Oh, I guess opponent is up nitrocide. God, I can't say the names of these little red units. Immolites. Opponent's kind of up Immolites. And kind of up defensive tempo with these engineers, maybe? But we have nitrocides? I don't know. And picking up this green was, like, really good. That is to say, I'm not saying, like, it was an amazing play. I didn't really analyze whether there were, like, other great plays available, but just, like, having access to green is very useful for opponent, because you're going to want a force field or barrier every turn. Yeah, I mean, this lets you kill their rhino, but for real? Are you going to go for this? Yeah, I thought so. I mean, I did see this play as like, okay, technically this rhino is gambiting because you could keep all your attack alive if you absorb on rhino and swing with everything, but it is very, very difficult to live if you do this, right? Holding Megadrone? Are we gonna do it or not? We're not gonna do it. Okay. Oops, indeed, huh? Yeah. I guess you'd kind of like to click Splitter and then click Galvani, but it's pretty hard to click a Splitter here. Holding back Splitter to buy another Flame Animus, that's brave. Instead of just clicking Splitter to get a wall. Really? Because, like, okay, what's the difference between those two plays, right? If you buy a wall and click the Splitter, then you get 1 damage this turn and every turn forever. If you, like, assume you'll keep clicking Splitter, right? Because you've bought a wall allowing yourself to buy the Splitter. To click the Splitter. You've kind of bought a fast attacker, like even faster than a 0-turn attacker, right? This Splitter has gone from defending to attacking if you get a wall. And you can continue, like, by buying a... It's not like you have to buy a wall every turn to get that damage. That would be quite an overstatement. You have to buy a wall once, and you gain 3 health, and you can use that 3 health to convert Steel Splitter's 3 defense into 1 attack for as long as you want. So it's really just 5 in a blue now for an attacker that starts attacking instantly. This is 5 in a blue for an attacker that starts attacking 2 turns from now. You're paying 2 damage to get a single red per turn starting 2 turns from now? For real? Like, that does not seem good to me. Well, okay, you're not paying 2 damage. You're paying like 1.5 because the Splitter this turn could only kill a Galvani. But that still seems worth. Like, is red really that amazing? Maybe it is with Nitros. I don't know. It's a tough play. I'm not sure I agree with it, but I can see how it could be right. But it's like not as clever as it looks, I guess is what I'm saying. Yeah, and so this turn he's buying the wall to click to hold to click the Steel Splitter. Sure. Oh, this time gambiting for real. Exciting. Wait, and Sano's not even gonna look at it this time? It's way better this time than it was last time. Come on. What? You could actually breach here. Right? Yeah. I mean, I don't know how great it is. Maybe you can just tell just from looking that it's gonna lose, but I would rather, like, look at it, right? I mean, it's pretty rough. Yeah, maybe this is no good. But, I mean, like, this is a lot of damage for opponents to deal with, isn't it? And it means this red that they bought, like, they can't really make use of right away? Like, I don't know. I would have at least liked to look at this line. Ugh, and now I'm out of replay mode and in analyze mode. Yuck. Okay. Okay, I mean, there's a cool big old synced up attack here. Was this really that good? I don't think it was. Right, we denied opponent 1 absorb. And to do that, we had to click 2 Galvani's and hold an Immolite. That's just not worth. It's like not that good. I guess it let us spend all of our red, which we couldn't easily have done. Yeah, we could have gotten Sibes. I feel like the problem in this game is just that, like, we don't have as much attack as opponent does, and opponent has way more green because they bought a conduit and we didn't. Right? We have 4 permanent attack. They're up to like 5. Wait, but like we have more Immolites and more drones. If you read those numbers off again, it sounds like we're winning. Why are we losing? I guess because of all these, like, Sibes that opponent has, right? They're getting defense very, very cheap via force fields, barriers, and Sibes, while we're sort of, like, buying soak rhinos. And having to hold Mega Drone. Yeah, all of an opponent's Sibes are what are winning. Well, and their conduit. And it looks pretty desperate at this point. We're not really doing anything anymore, and opponents accumulating Sibes while we're struggling to defend. And losing the Mega Drone money. Yeah, and then there's a resign at this point. I'm pressing forward and it doesn't go anywhere. So there were definitely some plays I disagreed. Let's get out of here and go back to replay mode. Definitely some plays I disagreed with. I think both players were a little bit more concerned, as I said, than I would have been about having Galvani drones. Made some economic concessions to try to get tactical gains later. By having less exploitable defenses. Could be correct, but, you know, an economical concession made on turn 2, which is followed by another economical concession on turn 3, like, that has a very long time to compound, and it, like, would opponent really be, like, clicking your Galvani's anytime soon? I don't think so. So I think that, like, that it did not really pay off. As I said, I also was not a huge fan of this first Oride core. It's kind of cool to, like, try to deny absorb, but you know, combined with Galvani drones and Mega Drone. I don't know. It could be okay. What else? I don't know. We could have killed, what, 2 NGs? Instead, we killed 2 Galvanis and got $2. Seems like about a toss-up, honestly. And leaving the Galvanis alive would have made it easier to get exploits in the future. So I think here, like, just giving the opponent the 1 absorb would have been maybe better. Or no. Yeah. Just giving them the 2 absorb and, like... killing NGs isn't the end of the world either. Like, they couldn't have, for example, bought this Galvani drone, right? Oh yeah, right, and also, they're kind of setting up for a Mega Drone, which if you leave them 3 NGs and 2 Galvanis, is going to be much more difficult. Yeah, so this was, I think, another big mistake. Clicking these Galvani drones was doing opponent a big favor. It's almost net neutral in value, like, if you just sort of like say, okay, 2 NGs versus 2 Galvanis, that's a $2 difference, and I got $2 from clicking the Oride core, so it's about equal, right? But on this turn, the NGs were kind of worth a lot to opponent, and the Galvanis were worth relatively little. So I think that you should have made them keep the Galvanis instead. Yeah, they get 1 Rhino absorb, but... you know, clicking Galvanis kind of is like low value, and you give them kind of roughly an absorb worth of value by doing that. So, given what they want to do this turn, I think you should have killed the engineers. Getting the counter Mega Drone, sure, seems good. Although, as I said, I think it would be good here to click Cybe, to let you click Oride, to let you buy something blue, presumably Pixie. Was there ever a chance to get a conduit? Like, opponent got theirs, and it just seemed amazing, right? We never really had a chance. I feel like we got too many Immolites also, right? Tarsier and Cybe were kind of both better for much of this game, I think. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the Immolite, like, putting on extra pressure is important. But, like, for example, here, we could have cut this, had $4, buy a Cybe, have $3, cut the NG, get a conduit. Like, barriers and force fields are going to be pretty good starting very, very soon. Or maybe we could have clicked the Oride core instead of cutting an NG or something like that. Right, the ability to continue defending is quite valuable, like, as a general rule in Prismata, and green will really help you do that. So I would have liked at some point to find a conduit. When I saw opponents, I was like, oh man, that's so good. And so I think we should have found time for one at some point. And gotten more Cybes instead. Like, Tarsiers instead of the early Immolites, and Cybes instead of the late ones, maybe? Something like that. And then by the time we needed to start holding Mega Drone, it was kind of too late. So, I don't know. I agree with the opening, well, turn 1 I agree with. I still think turn 2 and 3 were mistakes. Clicking the Galvanis I don't like. And then I have some, like, vague criticisms that you should have found a way to get a conduit, but I don't know if the specific ways I suggested getting a conduit are the right ones. Okay, well, that's it for this episode. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.